Welcome everyone. So this is the very first episode of Brews and Beliefs. This series is going to be about spirituality, ghost stories, witchy stuff, because my original YouTube channel, which is this one, but when I was younger I made videos on witchy stuff. And so after 12 years of being on YouTube, I've decided to bring it back to the originality and go back to what I used to do. Don't get me wrong, I will still be having my vlogs, of course, but on Sundays I want to do Brews and Beliefs. These are gonna sometimes be mukbangs too, because I like to film this early in the morning. For today's meal, I have this lovely buttered bagel and eggs created by my lovely abuela. And so grab a cup of tea, coffee, water, whatever you want. I have some lovely coffee. It's hard to see, I don't want to spill it. Brewed by my lovely abuela as well. So let's get started on the very first episode of Brews and Beliefs. We are going to discuss today is my ghost story / poltergeist. I don't know what it is till this day. Don't know if I want to find out. It was in my childhood home that I grew up in. I've moved around a lot, as you guys have probably noticed on my channel. But my original house that I grew up was 1000% haunted. And it wasn't just haunted, it was terrifyingly creepy haunted. And it went on for years. And I mean years. Like, I moved out of that house when I was 17 with my mother. 17 years of this. Basically, this all started, I would say, about when I was like 6 years old is when the first thing happened, when I was 6. And they always say how children have like this thing where they can just see things that adults can't. Like, they're just more intuitive. Or in tuned because they don't have all these life experiences that get in the way of their visions. I was 6 years old. I was watching Unaccompanied Minors, like the movie, in my living room. And so I grew up in a 4-story house, and it had like a half living room floor. Like on the second level, it's like you'd walk in and then there's like a second level where it's like a living room. And so I was sitting in the rocking chair, watching Unaccompanied Minors, and it was like late. I don't remember because like I am gonna be 22 this month. I don't know what time it was or whatever, but I just know I was 6 years old and I was watching Unaccompanied Minors and it was nighttime. There is 3 bedrooms upstairs. No, 4 bedrooms in the upstairs floor. It was my mom's, my room, the creepy room, which I'm gonna get into that, and then a guest room. So now they got the layout. For some reason, my gut just told me to like look to my left, and so I did. And there's a staircase that goes up to those rooms I mentioned, and in that creepy room that I just said, right, which I'm gonna get more into that as this continues, I see this shadow figure, right? And it was like of a man, and it looked like he had like a pillow or something. But like I said, it was a shadow person. Like, there's no features or anything. Like, all I could see is like a shadow person. And I was just like, what? Like, what is that? And I first thought it was possibly my grandfather that has passed. I had a grandfather that passed when I was like 4 years old. And the figure sort of looked like that, but like not really. Like I said, there's no features. It's literally a shadow person, like a shadow person. Don't know, whatever. And so I had the bright idea to go check it out. Why? I have no idea, because I do not have the balls that I did back then, because now I would never. I'd be like, fuck this, I am out. I am out-y. Also, I don't know why that was a good idea, considering that I was like a kid. Like, what if that was like an actual person? I was an idiot. Walked up my staircase, walked to that creepy room, and I instantly got a bad feeling. I was just like, really scared, and like I was just like, oh my god, like okay. And the thing about this room is that the light is in the middle of the room, so I have to go into the darkness and put on the light. Like I said, I was an idiot, because what if this was an actual person intruding into my house? Dumbass. I decided to go in, turn on the light. Not a single, nothing was there. Nothing. The only thing that's in the room is a bed and a closet. I looked in the closet before I entered the bed. No, nothing in there. No, I did not see anything. Didn't see a shadow person. Didn't see an actual person, thank God. Nothing in that room. Like, that room is vacant. Like, in this house, it's only me and my mother were living there at the time. So it's like, there's only two possibilities, myself and my mother. And I knew for a fact my mom was not in there. I looked in the bed. Absolutely nothing. So I was shook. I've always believed in ghosts and afterlife, something out there. Needless to say, very, very creeped out by it, but I was really young and I wasn't really too sure. But that's not where the story ends. Continued on for years. And as I got older, I had a babysitter, right? Who was also into spiritual stuff, and so me and her would do spiritual stuff together. Like, we're into witchy stuff, like pendulums and all of that. Right? Because I had a babysitter from 1st grade till 8th grade. I know, that'll be a story for a different day on why I had a babysitter for so long. But anyway, when I got older, we became friends, right? Because obviously I'm turning into a teenager, and yeah. And so we started discussing what I saw as a kid, right? Because she used to get weird feelings in my house too, and basically just creepy vibes. Even when after I didn't have a babysitter and I was like in my house, like by myself, like it felt like something was like watching me. I don't mean watching as in, like, you know, when you go into like a creepy building and you can feel something watching you, and it's probably an entity, spirit, whatever, something watching you. Right? It didn't just feel like something was watching me. It felt like something was stalking me in my own home. Like, something was stalking me. Like, whatever room I went into, like, I just felt like there was something just following me, but like not in a good way. Like, it just wouldn't do anything. But like, it didn't feel good. And then at night, I could hear footsteps, like, going up the staircase, because it was like a two-story staircase. You could just like hear footsteps, and like I said, it's only me and my mom, and me and her would like sleep together in the bed, because I got like these really weird feelings, and like we were going through a lot, and so like we just wanted to be together safe, because it's a big house for only 2 people. Like, yeah. So me and her would be together, right, like sleeping, and like I would hear these footsteps, and it would freak me out. Like, and so I would always make sure I'd lock the door to the room. Like, there's 2 doors in that room, so I'd lock both of them, because it just freaked me out. Like there's be footsteps, and I can just hear them, and like it was just like heavy footsteps. Like it legitimately felt like there was someone in the house, right? But there wasn't anyone else in the house besides me and her. So anyway, back to the pendulums. Me and my babysitter would use the pendulum. And so a pendulum is a tool for divination. You can get answers and stuff. It is like a weight, and then there's like a string or something attached. Like, you can use like a necklace, like this is like crystal, this is aquamarine, and then the weight of this, and then if I hold the thing up like this, it can be a pendulum like that. Anyway, I was young. I forgot how old I was at this point. I might have been like 11 or 12. I was like middle school time or whatever. She got creepy vibes from that room too. I would get, like, first of all, I would avoid that room altogether. I'd go to any other room in my house, not that one. I'd only go in there if I had to go in there for something. And that room was the coldest room in the house, like cold. I hate this room in the house. And like, oh my God, like you just walked in there, it just didn't feel right. Like, it just felt off. And it was so scary. Like, I remember every time I'd have to go turn on the light, I would like bolt to the light and turn it on, and then get whatever I had to do in there and get the hell out. Bad vibes, cold ass shit. Not a good place for whatever. It was literally just that room too. Like, it was fine except for that freaking room. And my babysitter decided to use the pendulum in that room. And like I said, we were very naive, because we definitely should have thought it out. researched more. Do not mess with spirits, entities, deities. Do not mess with that until you get older research, because you do not know who you're talking to. You don't know who you're talking to. Whatever you're using to talk to them, Ouija boards, pendulums, whatever, please be careful and do your research, because you have no idea what you're talking to. You do not know. Everyone has their own ways of figuring out if what they're talking to is who they're supposed to be talking to. For me, I believe in you have to ask 3 times. Ask whatever you're talking to, let's say entity, 3 times. Are you this? Like, whatever you're trying to contact. Like, let's say I don't know, let's say you're trying to contact a family member. Ask 3 times. Like, hey, is this grandma? Do it 3 times, because some people believe in that, like bad entities, like demons, whatever, can't lie to you 3 times. Like I said, everyone has their own different beliefs. My beliefs change all the time, but this is what I currently believe in so far. We were both naive and decided to start asking questions. We did normal little regular pendulum things, like not trying to talk to a deity, just using divination. And like, so, okay, this is everything normal. And like I said, even though I got creepy vibes, I wasn't sure if it was just because, you know, we're programmed to think that ghosts are terrifying. So I wasn't sure if it was like an actually like bad thing in my house, or if it was just me being creeped out because it's like a ghost. And then we decided to try talking to it. And at first, everything was fine, all Gucci, like normal answers. And so then I started doing it on my own, on my free time, because I've had my first pendulum. I got my first pendulum when I was 8 years old. And like I said, I have actually not said this, but to witchcraft and all that since the age of 8. I'm gonna be 22 this month. So I had my pendulum, and I would do it on my free time because, like I said, this is stuff that I'm interested in. As time went on, the responses started getting like weirder and weirder. Like, I asked questions, like, and I don't know, like, just like I said, when it comes to pendulums, you get like yes, no, maybe, can't answer kind of responses. You don't get like responses as in like sentences or anything like that. Like, it's just like yes, no, stuff like that. And so I don't know, like, it was like my intuition, like my gut feeling was just telling me like, I don't know, this doesn't really feel too fun anymore. Like, it just, something feels really off here. Doesn't feel right. I feel like whatever I am communicating with is not too good. Boy, was I right. So I told my babysitter about this, and so we went to her house. And her house was always good vibes. Like, as I got older, me and her would go to her house because the vibes were better. Like I said, in my house, you felt like something stalking you. At her house, it felt normal. She was my next door neighbor. We just walk over to her house. And so we tried using the pendulum in her house. And in her house, it was a relative that was in there. By relative, I mean like a passed on relative. So we started talking through the pendulum and talking to that soul spirit. And it was literally telling us that it was bad in my house. Yeah. Because we asked them, like, okay, is the thing in my house lying to us? Is it bad? Is it even a person in the first place? Like, and it kept saying, no, no, no. And we're like, hell no, I need to stop this. My babysitter just suggested to me, like, okay, just think, just don't think about it. Don't give it power. Your reality is here. So if you just take away its power, just like, nope, there's nothing, the activity will get less worse. Because the activity in the house was getting worse and worse and worse, started getting badder and badder and badder. And I feel like I was getting more and more stalked, and it felt creepy. Like, I felt like the thing was getting to me. I decided, I'm like, nope, screw this. I'm not letting this thing control my thoughts. Like, and so over time, the activity went away. Didn't get as powerful anymore. I hate talking about this. That's also not where this ends. Did move out to my next house after this, but before I left, I said, screw it. And so me and my friends on Halloween decided to use a spirit box app. I don't know how accurate they are. I'm into spirit boxes. And so it was Halloween. I moved the day after Halloween. And so, you know, it's Halloween, I'm into this stuff, I'm leaving. I've since blocked this thing out, and then I just said, screw it, right? And talked to my friends about it, because my friends would always get weird feelings at my house too. And so I got my 2 good friends with me, and we sat in my room, which was empty, in a circle of my bed frame. It was a metal bed frame, and we just sat inside the circle. And I pretty much put a protection circle around us, because like I said, I'm into witchy stuff, so I put a protection circle, because I'm not just gonna go mess with things and just go in there unprotected. Like I said, I don't know what the hell this thing was, but it was not good, and it definitely was not a normal person. So we're using the spirit box. Like I said, it was more for fun, and I was curious, because like I said, it's an app. I don't really know how accurate those things are. And so we sat in the circle, and we just let the thing go do whatever, right? And the things this thing said. So spirit boxes, they use radio frequencies, and spirits can talk through the radio frequencies, form their sentences, kind of like Bumblebee from Transformers. This thing started saying flesh, and we're just like, what the fuck? But you know, it's an app, so we're just like, okay, it's saying flesh, skin, weird things, and it's like, okay, well, maybe this app is just doing that to like scare its users or whatever, like screw it. And then this thing said metal. We're in a metal bed frame. That made us creeped out. Started saying things like watching, seeing, and it's like, come again? And we started getting creeped out, needless to say. Then the part that made me realize, I'm like, okay, like maybe this app is like not a fake, is because like this thing said witch, which sounds stupid, but hello, I'm a known practicing witch. Gross. I'm not gonna make this video too long, because I already know this video is gonna be long. So if you want to hear more about this thing that was in my childhood house, just let me know in the comments below, message me, whatever you want, because I do have more on this, but like I said, I don't want this video to be too long, and because I do have a theory that this thing hurt my pets, right? Like I said, that can be a story for another Brews and Beliefs later down the line. But thank you for watching the very first episode of Brews and Beliefs. I hope you guys liked it. Not every video is going to be about ghosts. This one just happened to be one, because I never talked about this on YouTube. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. And have a lovely morning.